Hello and welcome to today's video. We are in London and we are going manga shopping. I am also going to be showing my full haul at the end of this video, so do stick around. So once again, we are in London. I am in London for a concert this time and we are going to go and see what new releases they have on these shelves. I do love when a store separates their new releases out, so it's just so much easier to see what new stuff's just come out and I can just grab it all together as opposed to trying to go through all the shelves and figure out what is new and what's not. And especially when there's like stuff I haven't realized is new and I think, actually, is this not been out for a long time and I'm just being an idiot? I do love that Forbidden Planet is now doing 3 for 2 on Tokyo Pop as well, because it means I can pick up a whole bunch more series that I'm really excited to get. Here's me checking out some of the prices on some of these things, because sometimes like I really do want to pick up some of the pricier volumes, but because the price brackets start to get a bit more sporadic the higher up you get, it just makes it so much harder to make a 3 for 2. So usually I'm just checking what the prices are, but I don't tend to do a 3 for 2 of them or pick them up in store as much. And here we are going through the sale section. I must say, I think this time the sale section was like the best stacked that I have seen it in a long time. It was so good. There was so much I could have picked up, and I think I slightly held back, even though I did still go crazy, but there was still a bunch of stuff where I was like, if there hadn't been so much stuff that I was interested in, I'd have probably picked up some of that as well, if any of that makes sense. Something to keep in mind when going through the sale section in this Forbidden Planet though is sometimes they put volumes in that have been damaged and they'll knock them down a little bit, but what I don't quite understand is they'll knock them down a little bit, but it's still cheaper to buy them brand new in a 3 for 2. Like some of the Viz series volumes I've shown used or damaged, they're like £8.50, knocked down from £8.99, but you can buy it in a 3 for 2 and it averages out to £5.99 a volume. Why would you buy it damaged at £8.50 when you can buy a new copy for like £2.50 cheaper? I don't understand the logic. But yeah, this is when I realized that actually there was a second full bookcase of sale manga and I was so excited. There was some of my weird isekai, there was some light novels, there was like a plastic wrap stuff. I was surprised. I think this Nana is a good one to show. Like, it was $21.99 and they knocked it down to $20.99. Like, that's just not as good still if you buy it in a 3 for 2. Now maybe the $20.99 applies in a 3 for 2, but I don't think it does. I think I've asked previously and they've said no, so yeah, I just don't understand. I do find often like there's a good pile of Kodansha at a good price in these sale sections, so even though like that's a publisher that you don't get in a 3 for 2 in these stores, that I do end up picking up quite a few volumes from them because they appear in the sale section. 99p as well sometimes for light novels on manga. It just shows they're probably not great. I wonder how they decide how much to knock them down by. Like $4.99 is like the sweet spot for me. Like, I'm really not fussy if it gets down to $4.99. $5.99, $6.99 depends if it's like a bigger size volume or if it's an omni or hardcover or whatever, but $4.99, yeah, $5.99, that's like my sweet spot for sales volumes in this store. But yeah, looking back at this, there is a lot of stuff that I like swept by, not necessarily because I didn't want, just because I'd already picked up quite a lot and I didn't want to like go too crazy because I'd still not actually gone around the rest of the store at this point. Look how full it was, and we had just done the sale section and the new releases. It did need to tidy up to like try and get them into their 3 for 2 stacks, but let's actually go and look around the regular shelves now. I was really excited to see this volume from Panini. I hadn't realized it was already out, so that was quite a nice surprise. Also really nice to see Panini in the 3 for 2. It was a little busy. It wasn't actually too bad. I'd have expected it to be a bit busier considering it was like noon on a Saturday, I want to say. We had decided to train down the morning of instead of the night before just to save some money on the hotel. So we didn't get into London till about noonish, but so I was expecting it to be busier than it was, and it wasn't too bad. I'm quite pleased with still how many like new releases there were out and about on the regular shelves, but I was worried I've missed some, so I'm like trying to watch this recording back to see if there's anything I've missed. I'm not so sure yet. Maybe. Tried to grab a whole bunch of shoujo beats. There were a few series here I was kind of hoping there might be the next one. I was kind of hoping Snow Angel Volume 2 might be out. I have no idea when the release date is for that, so maybe I was just like hoping randomly that wasn't based on any like dates in my head. I do like when they separate light novels out. It's probably one of the like, I do for the most part like my shelves and books to be completely sorted alphabetical, but I like light novels to be separate just so it makes it easier to send Ben in some direction. Interesting, they have lots of Volume 1 of Green Yuri here. Haiku 3-in-1s. Hunter x Hunter has a 3-in-1 now as well. This is another series where I was like, maybe, but like its RRP is just an awkward price. I think every Omni that I looked at that I was interested in picking up had a different price bracket, and it's just, yeah, it makes it too faffy to try and make 3 for 2 in stores, unfortunately. If you're trying to go for max savings, if you're less bothered, then it doesn't matter as much. But I am very cheap with the amount that I pick up, so I try to go for as much max savings as I can. Ooh, we're in the naughty shelves, the 18+ shelves. I'm quite disappointed. I don't think I can remember a time now when I found new steamship releases in the Forbidden Planet London. They used to be really good for having them really early, but I just don't see them anymore, and that's quite sad because like I was always really excited. I think the last 3 or 4 times I've gone to try and find new steamship titles, and they just don't have them. I've even asked, and they just got really confused when I was like, steamship, imprint, 7 Seas. They didn't know what I was talking about. They just said, go look at the new release shelf. And I'm like, oh, it's not there. I was asking, do you have any? Or do you not get them in anymore? Never mind. I do kind of like that they have so much space that they can face covers outwards. I feel like manga covers is just not really something you see as much, especially once it's on your shelf. I mean, for one, I know that on my shelves I often don't see the manga covers as much just cause I got a lot. So I really do love being able to see them on occasion. It's nice they've got the space to do that. So much soul leveling. Oh. So much Spider-Man. What's happened? Why is there so much Spider-Man manga coming out at the moment? I think I have like 5 different Spider-Man manga series now. As it just so happened on this trip, I wasn't the only one manga shopping in London. There were some other people who were out and about getting their manga fix. Look who it is. I think I made a jump. And now we're going to jump to present day Caitlin, who's going to show you everything I picked up in this scary basket. Hello! So we're back home and I'm going to share with you everything that I picked up. I have started reading a few of these, but I am going to hold off talking too much about them until my reading vlog, which I will film soon. Still need to film my June one, but I'll just try and do June and July together. Or back-to-back days so my throat doesn't die. So in my opinion, I did definitely go quite ham on this trip. The sales section in particular was beautiful. There was so much stuff in the sales section that I was interested in at prices I was willing to pay. And yeah, you'll see what I picked up. So anything I didn't pick up in the sales section was still in a 3 for 2, so still decent price. So the first 3 for 2 we did was $10.99 3 for 2, and in that we got Star Wars High Republic Edge of Balance. It is a bit painfully thin. That is so thin for a manga volume, especially at $10.99. Oh, final volume. Okay, it's complete. I was wondering because I thought it was complete at 2 and then another one appeared and I was like, okay, where are we stopping? So Ben has been reading the novels of this and the comics. There is like a whole like chronological order on how to read the story of the High Republic, and apparently the manga is like part of it, and there's like a couple of like extra ones. So this is like Edge of Balance, but there's also like there's one with Yoda on it. I can't remember their names, but I think I now have like 6 volumes of this, but this one is complete at 4, Edge of Balance. It's just so thin. And we have Record of Ragnarok 15. I'm now so behind on it, but I do definitely think this is a series that is good to binge. I can hear you, Mika, I can hear you screaming. As we have Trillion Game Volume 6, I have mostly stayed up to date with this one, though I have been reading it in pairs, so I have Volume 5 to read and now Volume 6, I can read them together. This has been a surprisingly fun read. I've just enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. It's like business, but like an action series, but it's business and IT. Okay, now we got a pricier 7 Seas 3 for 2. We have Titan's Bride Volume 7. I am not up to date with reading this, but Ben is. Ben has said like unironically it is his, I think, favorite BL isekai outside of Beans. I think everyone's just a bit shy. It's just like, I just quite enjoyed like the world building. Like, all right, okay. No God in Eden Volume 1, a new series. It was on the new release shelf, oops. Apparently about the origins of the first ever Omega Alpha pairing, Omegaverse. Sounds fun, it's poster wrapped. Sora and the House of Monsters Volume 5. I have been loving this series. I'm still behind, but sometimes I find that I've enjoyed a series so much I don't want to rush into reading it because I don't want to be caught up, which is dumb. It's dumb and silly. I should be reading the series that I really like, including this one. It's got floor plans and I'm obsessed with floor plans. Ah! If anyone has any other series recommendations with floor plans in it, I have this one. I think Strange House is that. If you know any others, please let me know. Okay, the rest of this is just all mixed up. We're not going through specific 3 for 2s. So next up we have Tokyo Alien Bros Volume 3. I hadn't realised it was complete at 3. I knew it was short, but I just completely forgot it was complete at 3. I did kind of enjoy Volume 1. Bit on Volume 3 and how it ended, to be honest. Probably wouldn't rush to recommend. I'd recommend that other series, Hiro Mishumi. I can never remember how to pronounce it. Jean Bride Volume 2. I was very confused at Volume 1-ish. There was like some really interesting messaging about women and women in society, and then it just got a bit weird. And this one like kind of flipped. It was more doing the weird stuff, and it did still talk about women in society, but like a bit less so. I was very confused, to be honest. Trapped by His Love, The Duke's Unexpected Bride Volume 3. I've read this one, I've just forgotten to take the sticker off. I was really excited because I was in London for work at the start of June and I picked up Volume 2 and I read that on the train coming home. And then I picked up, they had Volume 3 and I picked that up and I read it on the train coming home. So now, like, in my heart, every time I go to London, I need to find the next volume of this and read it on the train coming home. It's really nice to see that they are now doing Tokyo Pop in the 3 for 2. There's a couple other publishers we'll get to that are also included in the 3 for 2. But it did used to just be Viz and 7 Seas, but we are like starting to encroach on the other stuff. Just need to lure in Yen Press and Kodansha. I love this series. I don't think it's going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I absolutely adored it. The 100th times the charm, she was executed 99 times. So how did she unlock Super Love Mode Volume 1? It's a new series from Panini Comics. And I love time loops and series and villainess series where it turns out the villainess isn't actually the bad guy, it's the heroine, and this is one of those series. And I really liked it, and I was looking up when Volume 2 is out, and if I'm looking up when the next volume is out, I'm excited. So I was excited about this one. I also am excited that the price bracket is $9.99. So it is unfortunately on the cheaper end when you talk about manga in English. Yeah. Demon Prince of Momochi House Succession Volume 1. which is, I assume, a follow-on from the main series. I haven't finished reading the main series. I got put off struggling to find volumes for a few years, and I've just not gone back to it. But it's kind of neat to see we're having a follow-up for it, so I thought I'd pick it up and like at least try and support the series as they're coming out, because it's always good to do that if you can and you're able. 12 Dirty Deeds to unite the heroine and the princess, something like that. Volume 2 is plastic wrapped. It is questionable. It is so questionable. It's kind of silly. It's like teetering that line of gross and amusing. It depends what you're comfortable with. I would definitely not rush to recommend this to anyone unless I like really knew you well and could like try and explain parts of it and be like, how do you feel about this? Volume 1 did make me giggle though, so it was for me a bit more erring on the side of silliness. Sleep Princess in Demon Castle Volume 28. I did not realize I have gaps. I am missing volumes. I think I had 1 to 25 and I just completely missed 26 to 27. I really love the series. It's so dumb and silly and adorable altogether. I can't believe it is this long though. That shocks me a little bit, but I do still really like it. Again, probably wouldn't rush to recommend it. It's so long. Maybe through the app. Cosmic Censorship Volume 1. This is from Titan Manga, so it's another series that appears in the 3 for 2. This is also another series that is $9.99. And remember, I bought them in the 3 for 2. That's not how much I paid. Grabbed it blankly because sometimes I like to grab Volume 1s blankly. I don't think I've really read much Titan manga that I've like incredibly enjoyed, so I'm like still on the search for something. Tokyo Fears Rhapsody Volume 1. This is one I have read as well, and I'll probably talk more about my thoughts again in my reading vlog. And I've like said little bits about some of them, but I'll go into like more detail about what I like and didn't like, and the story in general. This one felt like a more comedic kaiju number 8 so far. I'm unsure. It was cute, it's funny. I'm not like raving for it, but it did tickle me. Dogs Red Volume 2. I loved Volume 1, so I was really happy to see this on the shelf and could grab it. I know it came out a little bit ago, so I was like, it wasn't even on the new releases, it was like somewhere else in the D's. This is going to be my next read. Hopefully I'm going to read this evening, but yeah, I'm so excited. I can't believe how much I love Volume 1. I was kind of surprised. I shocked myself. Two Guys at the Vet Clinic. This is apparently a one-shot, I believe. I don't see any numbering. Super like mixed feelings on 7 Seas one-shots. So I'll just see my thoughts when I get to it. News Exorcist Volume 1, a new Viz series. I do typically try to give most Viz series a go, if only because they're some of the cheapest ones. It feels less bad jumping into them a bit blindly. But I am going into this blindly. I don't know anything about it, so we'll see when we get to it. Ask and You Shall Receive Volume 1. I was asked to pick this up by Kix, one of the mods in the Discord server. She loves it quite dearly. She picked up Volume 2 on the trip and I picked up Volume 1, and I'm going to read it during the month of August. Firefly Wedding Volume 3. This has been a really good series. I love the drama, I love the gore, I love it's a bit more. There's red flags galore. I'm enjoying that. It's like a solid 8 out of 10 series for me. And it's just such a shame that I think I picked this up quite quickly from release. I have to wait a bit longer for Volume 4. My Special One Volume 10. Now I do actually have a gap in this. I hadn't realised I don't have Volume 9. I think we are approaching a conclusion. As in, I think I've seen online, I don't remember how long it is. I thought it was like early teens. Most Shoujo Beat series seem to end in the early teens. I think I'm going to hold off reading it till it's complete now, because I was finding it was so stuttery to read and I was starting to not enjoy it. And I think I'd rather try and read it all together in a go, see if that just helps me. I don't want to dislike series, so if waiting for me to read a bunch together helps me enjoy it more, I'm gonna do that. Ultraman Along Came a Spider-Man. I don't understand that title. Volume 1, another series from Viz, a new one. They seem to be doing a bunch of like Spider-Man one. I think it's like the 3rd one I have from Viz. And it just looks like Spider-Man is transported across dimensions to a Japan. Yusekai! Attack of Vampires Love Bite Volume 4. I think I'm gonna stop rushing to pick this one up again unless I'm making a 3 for 2 until I've caught up with what I've read and I decide, like, do I like it enough to stay up to date, or do I designate it as a sale secondhand series? Dandadan. I am determined to catch up on reading Dandadan before the end of the year. I'm gonna make it one of my mini month goals, maybe in November or December when I've just got some more time. Sakamoto Days Volume 17. I said I wasn't going to like rush to stay up to date with this, and then I saw it on the shelf and I was making a 3 for 2 and I was like, okay, I'll just grab it while I'm here. Yeah, Judge away, please. Okay, I think the last two like new stuff before we move on to the sale section pickups, I picked up 2 omnis of Red River, so we got 79 and 10 to 12, and that does bring me up to date because I think the 10 to 12 ones just come out. I did read the first omni in July, finally. I have read it, I'm really pleased. So many opinions. I read it really quickly, but I don't know if I enjoyed it, and I'll get more into it in my reading vlog. But I am intrigued enough to try and read more of it, and I was like, okay, I enjoyed it enough to, I want to read and try and get as close to a conclusion, and I'll see how I go after the next 3 omnis if I want to like keep going. But I do also really want to try and support these sort of series where we're getting re-bundled volumes of all the series that are out of print, especially shoujo series, just to try and show them that there is a want, there is a desire for these, and we want more, because there are a whole bunch of other ones that I've heard about that I would love to try and read. I just need them to reprint them in some format, and if omnibus is the way to go, so be it. It's not my preference, but I'll take it. And now we are on to the sale section, which is just a big pile next to me. Okay, we have Sheltering Eves Volume 2, and I picked it up for $6.99, which is how much I think I picked up Volume 3 as well in a sale on Blackwell's. I was not completely blown away with Volume 1. It is very similar vibes to the author's other series, Perfect World, and it's just a bit too down for me, to be honest. Just a bit too down, and I struggle with that sometimes. So like, I think I want to read it, but I just don't want to pay 3 for 2 prices for it. Next, we've got a light novel for Ben, Reborn as a Space Mercenary 11, $6.99. He's now got a gap. He loves this series. I hadn't realised how many had come out. He had 1 to 8, so we need to get him 9 and 10 of this. $6.99 for a light novel is great. That RRP, if you can read it there, says $14.99. So I'm quite pleased with that. Another light novel in the Strange Adventure of a Broke Mercenary 8. For 99p. Yeah, light novels are always crazy cheap because they're just not as popular as manga, which is fine and great for me and Ben because I can just sweep him loads up for less money. I've really enjoyed the manga of this, so I was quite excited to get him some of the light novel. He does already have some, so I haven't started him a new series, so he's not mad at me. Spellbook Library Volume 2 at $6.99, which is an okay price. It is a $13.99 series. I have Volume 1, so it wasn't too crazy a pickup, but I haven't read it yet, so it was still slightly naughty pickup. Nina and the Starry Bride Volume 8 at $5.99. This series always appears in sale sections, whether it's Forbidden Planet or Blackwell's, so I keep picking them up at $5 or $6.99. And yeah, I have a couple of gaps now, but I'm just going to bide my time at this point and try and pick them up for that. Another light novel, but this is slightly more for me. It is Villainess and the Demon Knight Volume 2 at $6.99. I don't have Volume 1, but that is a pretty good price again for a 7 Seas light novel. This is $14.99 RRP. It is a steamship title, and we do have the manga of the steamship, but I want to see how it's smutty in the book as well. Last Game Volume 8 at $6.99. Similar to Nina and the Starry Bride, this series seems to always appear in various sale sections, so again, I have some gaps, but I'm going to try and hold off and pick it up then. Witch of the Night Will Survive Volume 3, apparently the final one. I'm not sure I have Volume 2, so I'll need to try and keep an eye out for that one, and again, $5.99. Just like Mona Lisa Volume 4 at $6.99. I read Volume 1 and 2 a couple of months ago, and I did quite enjoy it, but it is an expensive series at $14.99 usually, so even in a 3 for 2, it's a lot of money, so I've been holding off, so seeing it was lovely. I do need Volume 3 now, unfortunately, but it's a step closer still. We got another light novel. It is Though I Am an Inept Villainess, Volume 8 at $6.99. Once again, RRP at $14.99, so it was nice to see, especially Villainess titles. Tales of the Kingdom Volume 2 at $1.99. I think I've picked up like 2 or 3 volumes of this series, specifically in Forbidden Planet sale section. I mean, it's a hardcover, so it's a bit more pricey normally anyway, and like I wasn't blown away, but at $1.99, I'll keep reading it. I'm a Behemoth, an S ranked something because the sale sticker's covering the title. Volume 9, and I was quite pleased because it is the next volume I needed, and it is $4.99. It was on sale. It's not a good series. I don't rush to recommend it. Ben has watched the anime and I've been reading the manga, so we're both quite pleased. Though I was reincarnated as a girl in another... This is screwed up, but I was reincarnated as a girl in another world, volume 15. I can't believe how far behind I am. I quite liked the series outside of the title and misogynistic tendencies. Like, in terms of the premise, it was quite Minecrafty in the way that, like, the plot building fantasy of the world worked, and that was quite fun to read. But it's just so long and I'm behind, so I've not rushed to stay up to date, and now it's in sale section, so that's probably when I'm going to try and pick it up. Now, as a reincarnated aristocrat in another world, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. Volume 13 at $4.99. Yeah, loads of isekais like this end up in sale sections, so which is great for me. I'm not going to complain. I can get a series I enjoy for super cheap. Springstorm and Monster Volume 2 at $4.99. I read Volume 1 and I was just not a big fan. It wasn't for me, but at $4.99 I will I'll keep reading, keep continuing. Next we have Silence Volume 1, which is a series from Kana? Yeah, I was covering it, and that was $4.99. Going in blind, but a Volume 1 this cheap from a new publisher will definitely give it a go. We are getting there. Next we have Villainess Level 99 Volume 4 at $5.99. I was quite surprised because I thought I had this volume. Apparently I did not. It is a bit pricey. It is One Piece books and they're quite thin, so maybe I just held off till it was cheaper and just forgot about it. But I'm glad I did, because now I've got it for cheap, and I also do quite like the series, so happy. In Another World of My Smartphone, Volume 9 at $1.99. Really happy with this one because it fills a gap. I have a clear run to like 12 or something now. Do not rate the series, do not recommend, but me and Ben enjoy it. Tsubaki Cho's Lonely Planet Volume 9 at $4.99. It is another series where I've been a bit indifferent about it, and I have started seeing volumes appear more often in the sale section, so it's probably going to be where I go to pick it up nowadays. The World's Fastest Level Up, the manga Volume 5 at $5.99. I also have been really enjoying this series and I've fallen behind. I've read 1 to 3, I need to pick up Volume 4, but it's just a fun dungeon crawly level up sort of system manga. Not really an isekai because it's kind of like that sort of solo leveling. Dungeons have appeared in the real world and they go in to like take stuff out to sell, but it had been quite fun. We are approaching the bottom, we are nearly done. We have Level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero, Volume 8 at $5.99. I can't believe we're on Volume 8. I only have 1 to 3, so I'm a bit behind. This was one where I even owned picking up. I was like, is $5.99 cheap enough for this one? But I was being really naughty on this trip. Earth Expansion Volume 3 at $4.99. Another new series from Panini. Stupidly, I've forgotten to pick up Volume 1, so I need to include that in one of my upcoming orders, or try and wait to see if I see it on sale. I'm not sure yet, but I haven't started reading, well, of course I haven't started reading it, I don't have Volume 1. Apparently Disillusioned Adventurers Will Save the World Volume 4 at $4.99. This series always seems to be popping up in sale sections, so that is where I'm picking it up. Same with the light novel. Light novel and the manga are appearing in the final volume. We've got there. We have Adachi and Shimamura Volume 3, and this is apparently a really cute GL. I'm going for $1.99, and just, yeah, see what I can pick up now. And with that, that was the entirety of my London trip haul. I hope you enjoyed. I did pick up way more than I intended, but the sale section was really good. You saw some of those prices, 99p, $1.99. It's, yeah, cheaper than 3 for 2 is really nice to see, and that's usually like my, if it's cheaper than that, I'm a bit more amenable. And then how much am I interested in the series will determine how close to a 3 for 2 it gotta be before I'll buy it. If you enjoyed the video, do remember to like and subscribe. I've got many videos. If you're interested in early access, check out my channel memberships. It's 99p a month. And at Higher Tea, I am starting to do some members only videos as well if you're interested in weird stuff. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye!